Hello, everyone. This week, General Hospital Entertainment News.
Morning television often feels predictable. Viewers tune in expecting familiar faces, familiar tones, and stories that gently ease them into the day. That's exactly why today's moment on General Hospital stood out, not because it was loud or dramatic, but because it was quiet, personal, and deeply human. There were no shocking announcements, no dramatic music cues, and no sudden confrontations. Instead, there was a family moment that unfolded naturally, catching many fans off guard. A moment that reminded viewers why this show has endured for decades. Why this moment felt different. Skip-friendly section. General Hospital is known for high-stakes drama, crime storylines, hospital emergencies, and power struggles in Port Charles. But today's episode shifted focus. Instead of urgency, the tone slowed. Instead of chaos, there was reflection. What fans noticed immediately was the change in pacing. The camera lingered longer, dialogue felt softer, characters listened more than they spoke. This wasn't about advancing a major plot twist. It was about letting emotion breathe. For longtime viewers, this felt intentional, almost like the show wanted audiences to pause alongside the characters. The heart of the family moment. At the center of today's episode was a family interaction that felt understated but meaningful. No raised voices, no accusations, just presence. A familiar character sat quietly, processing something unspoken. Another stood nearby, offering support without needing words. It was the kind of scene that mirrors real life, where emotions aren't always explained but felt. Fans immediately picked up on the symbolism. A shared look instead of a speech. A pause instead of confrontation. Comfort without resolution. These are the moments that resonate deeply because they feel real. Social media reactions began appearing almost immediately after the episode aired. Viewers weren't reacting to shock, they were reacting to recognition. Many fans described the scene as relatable, quietly powerful, exactly why I still watch. In a world where television often competes for attention with louder and faster storytelling, this moment stood out by doing the opposite. It trusted the audience to feel rather than be told how to feel. One reason this scene landed so strongly is because it reflected something universal. Family moments don't always come with closure. Sometimes they come with unanswered questions, lingering emotions, silent understanding. The show didn't rush to tie the moment into a neat conclusion. Instead, it allowed viewers to sit with it. That restraint is rare and powerful. For many fans, it echoed real-life experiences with family conversations that don't resolve everything but still matter deeply. Another key reason this moment worked was performance. There was no overacting, no exaggerated reactions. Small gestures carried weight, a slight nod, a steady breath, a softened expression. These details are easy to miss, but they're exactly what made the scene memorable. It reminded viewers that sometimes the strongest acting happens in silence. General Hospital has been on air for over 6 decades. That longevity doesn't come from constant shock, it comes from emotional trust. Moments like today's reinforce why audiences stay loyal. The show understands its characters, it respects the audience's intelligence, it balances drama with humanity. This episode wasn't about spectacle, it was about connection. How this moment shapes future storylines without spoilers. While today's scene was quiet, it may have long-term significance, not because it introduced a twist, but because it deepened relationships. Family dynamics established in subtle moments often influence future decisions. Who supports whom later? Who stays silent when it matters? Who remembers this moment when choices become difficult? The ripple effects may not be immediate, but they matter. Interestingly, even newer viewers responded strongly. Why? Because the scene didn't rely on long backstory. Emotion was communicated visually and naturally. You didn't need years of history to understand what was happening. That accessibility is crucial for a running show attracting new audiences. Daytime television is often underestimated, but moments like this show its strength. It can reflect real emotions, offer comfort, create shared experiences. For viewers watching during their own busy mornings, this moment didn't demand attention, it earned it. In the end, today's episode wasn't about headlines or shock value. It was about something quieter and perhaps more lasting. A family moment, a shared silence, a reminder that not all emotions need explanation. For fans, it was unexpected not because it was dramatic, but because it was honest. And sometimes, honesty leaves the strongest impression. As General Hospital continues its long journey, moments like these quietly reaffirm why it still matters. Not just as a show, but as a mirror to the everyday emotions we all carry. In the end, today's episode wasn't about headlines or shock value. It was about something quieter and perhaps more lasting. A family moment, a shared silence, a reminder that not all emotions need explanation. For fans, it was unexpected not because it was dramatic, but because it was honest. And sometimes, honesty leaves the strongest impression. As General Hospital continues its long journey, moments like these quietly reaffirm why it still matters. Not just as a show, but as a mirror to the everyday emotions we all carry. Today's moment on General Hospital reminds us that life isn't always about loud declarations or dramatic turns. Sometimes the most powerful stories unfold quietly, in shared glances, gentle words, or even in the spaces where nothing is said at all. As viewers, we find pieces of ourselves in these subtle moments, reminders of the family bonds, the unspoken understanding, and the love that doesn't always need to be expressed loudly. When we watch characters like Sunny, Carly, or Michael sit together in silence, supporting each other without words, it mirrors our own lives. We all have moments where we wish someone would simply be present with us, listen, or share the weight of unspoken emotions. Today's scene captures that essence perfectly. For fans, it's a gentle nudge that even in the midst of conflict, tension, or challenges, there is space for connection, understanding, and empathy. It's these quiet, honest interactions that stay with us long after the screen goes dark. So as you reflect on today's episode, remember, sometimes the heart of a story isn't in what happens, it's in what is felt. And moments like this remind us why we keep coming back to General Hospital day after day.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts because you don't want to miss the next episode.